Hi guys, my name is Ryan Chrisman. I'm the POS Channel Sales Manager for Electronic Payments. Today's video is going to cover Exatouch Point of Sale for retail stores. I'm going to go over a lot in this short video, including everything that's included in the bundle, our process from start to finish, as well as the software package and the great features that this business tool has for retail stores. So let's get started. First, let's talk about what comes in the bundle. And when I say the bundle, it's one big box that shows up, not 9 little boxes. This is an overpacked solution that shows up on your doorstep in one big box, ready to take out of the box and use. And how do we do that? Well, we always start with a demo. So once the business owner has gone through a software demo where we'll vet out what features they need for their business and show them how those features work inside of the software, we take it on to the next step. The next step is doing an inventory import. One of the most difficult things about getting a new point of sale system for your business is having to re-add all of those inventory items. Most business owners do not have fond memories of doing that. So we take the stress away by doing an inventory import for you. Now, secondarily to that, once the inventory is in the system, we do a menu review where we show you, the business owner, your inventory in the system, and we talk through different preferences such as setting up your employees, sales taxes, discounts, etc. Once that's been confirmed and you're happy and you're ready to use the system, we put it in a box and send it off to you, and upon arrival we do an over-the-phone install and training. And that's how you have a successful point of sale deployment that rolls into calling our 24/7 support department when you have more questions. And it's all US based. It's the best thing about Exatouch, the people that stand behind it. Now let's talk about the hardware. The bundle includes the all-in-one touchscreen terminal, receipt printer, cash drawer, and barcode scanner. And a couple of other things that are included are in the following picture here: the signature capture pin pad, as well as a 10-inch rear-facing customer display. As the clerk is scanning the items into the system, the customer will be able to see all those items and the total, which makes paying faster, and it makes that customer feel confident about what they're buying because they see it right there on the screen. Let's talk about the software package. In my demo example here, I've set up Ryan's Deli, your neighborhood deli. So this is our new lock screen. You can actually customize the logo on the top of the screen, and there's some other new cool features that you can have access to directly from the lock screen. Hey, in the past, to get support, you had to click through a couple of different things. Now we have it right on the front page. The same thing with checking a gift card balance or printing a shift report. These are all things now that you can do with one touch instead of several. From this screen, the employees of the business can also clock in and clock out, come back from a break, or start a break, and return from a break. I'm just going to tap my 4-digit PIN to get into the system. Now, before I go further, let's talk about that PIN or employee swipe card. It depends on what the business owner wants to use. Tied to that PIN is what Ryan, the cashier, is allowed to do. If I'm the new guy, the business owner might want to really restrict everything I do in the software, such as discounts or refunds or voids. So there's a different life that each person can have inside of the software, and that can be configured underneath our staff module. I'm going to start with you guys talking about the register. It's the area of the software you're going to use the most. So let's get into that. Now, inside of our register, a quick walk around. Top left, you'll see that I have a Find Customer button. We do have customer management built into the system, so I can quickly look up a customer and assign that customer to the transaction. There's some benefits to that, which I'll touch on later. So with our software package, very quickly here, we have our menu kind of set up down the middle of the page. And our program is broken down by category, subcategory, and then items, which is really important because that's how your data, your sales data, waterfalls into your reporting. So that's something to keep in mind as we start talking about reporting shortly. But generally speaking, as a cashier, you'll just begin scanning items, right? A customer brings a few items to the counter, you scan them in. I'm just touching a few items in for the example on the touchscreen. The software package is going to go ahead and calculate how many items you have, the subtotal, sales tax, and give you your total and be ready to take your payment instantly. A few other things I think is important to note. Directly from this screen, you do have a couple of custom rows along the bottom of the screen. I currently have 2 turned on. You can have as many as 3 or as few as 0 if you choose to. But you can park custom buttons along here, such as our e-gift solutions button, or doing a discount, or grabbing the information about an item, or additional information about an item. And then there's action items on the right hand side of the screen here. So the pay tab over here is more complex. Let's say instead of just paying cash, somebody wants to pay partially cash, partially credit, maybe with EBT or a check, or they have discounts or promos to assign to the transaction. This is where you access all of that. For my example, I'm just going to touch cash and pay out the transaction and say that this customer gave me a $20 bill. Here's a quick example of what the receipt looks like. You can have all your totals on it and even a barcode on the bottom to quickly process a return if necessary. Hey guys, keep in mind you don't have to have a receipt print. Most of our businesses that we're working with are configuring this to prompt yes, no, or email. Most customers just say no thank you, I don't need a receipt. The business owner, you save paper, and everybody's happy. There's a lot of other features that are built into Exatouch here, and I call them reality features. These are things that just tend to happen during the day, as you're ringing up sales. Somebody comes in and they grab a bottle of water and a couple of other things, and then they say, oh boy, I forgot my wallet, and it's out in the car. So we have the ability to kind of save your transaction. I can suspend this and make it go away, right? And then when I come back in and I say, well, finally found my wallet in the front seat of my car, I can go in and get the order, recall the transaction, and everything is there. It just saves the cashier from having to stand there and wait. They can take care of the other customers and then recall the transaction when I come back. There's also other things here I think are important to call out in the system, and I think these are things that happen a lot as well, such as discounts. So you can discount a ticket or an individual item in a lot of different ways, and this is an area of the software package that business owners can get very creative with. I talk to convenience store owners that say they give 50% off to first responders and they want to have a discount set up for that, or they have a senior discount, or they have family pricing or employee pricing. So these are all things that we can custom configure, for the business owner. I'm just going to complete this sale and get us on out to the home page here, which we get to by touching the little picture of a home on the bottom. So I want to talk to you guys about inventory. One of the most important things about a point of sale system in a retail store is being able to track your items and what you have inside of the system. And our software package gives you the ability to take every single item you have and give it its own little profile page. Here's where you have the barcode for the product, the description, category and subcategory, important to remember for those reporting reasons, and your pricing. So you have your price, you have all your different configurations, your costs, your sales tax, which is all tracked inside of the system. Hey, check this out. There's a promo tab. I could set up an item inside of my system to have a price during certain hours of the day. The local convenience store near me will let you buy a buttered roll and a small coffee for $1.99 as long as it's before 8 a.m. You can custom configure that and have the price change back to normal price at 8:01 a.m. And then underneath the inventory tab for each item, you can set your min and max and tie this to a vendor if you'd like to do so. All really strong and important features, for a good retail point of sale system. I talked earlier about customers and how we have some customer features. We do have the ability to take names and addresses and all your information from a customer, put them in clubs and things like that. But I think the most important thing is being able to get that email address, because that drives towards something really cool. Inside of the software, we have the ability to do messaging. And when I say messaging, you can create a new email that you want to go out to a certain group of customers that you've set up inside of your store. I was working with a business owner recently that said they wanted to custom configure groups because in their store they had a lot of craft beers and they wanted to create a craft beer group and send out information to that group only on new beers. I thought that was a great idea, and you can do that inside of Exatouch. I'm going to get back to the home page again, and I'm going to touch on reporting, because that's another really important feature inside of our system. Keeping track of your sales data and using that sales data to make business decisions can really help you be more profitable as a retailer today. So we have about 80 reports built into the system, and they range from simple sales reports to sales tax to zero movement, which means items you haven't sold in a certain date range. But I'm just going to pull up really quick the business overview report. And while this opens, I want to mention to you guys that there's a couple of unique features about Exatouch that our user base really enjoys. One of them is the fact that you can get a report on a POS system, you can get a report on a back office computer, you can have the report scheduled to auto email to one or many email addresses. That example of, hey, I want my accountant to get my sales tax on the first Monday of the month every month. You can do that with Exatouch. Or the business owner that works 3 days a week but wants the business overview in their inbox at 6 a.m., 7 days a week. You can get that. And there's reports built in here, like this simple 2-page report that gives you everything from average ticket and total sales to sales by time, labor costs, all your taxes, etc. Tons of info in one report. I was once told you can't manage what you can't measure. And I think through reporting, and if you remember, I talked about category and subcategory, you can figure out the areas of your retail business that are selling the most. If you run reports and find out that $10,000 is your total sales for the month of July and $6,000 was white wine, that's beneficial. It's a lot more beneficial to know that it was not just white wine, it was Pinot Grigio. And you can really drill into your sales of those subcategories and focus. Maybe increase your SKU count in those subcategories. Maybe decrease it in the categories you're selling less of. Those are really important features. All right. Now, there's a couple of other things I do want to touch on before I complete this for you today. I want to mention that our system comes with a dashboard for reporting as well. So with your iPhone or your Samsung phone or any internet-enabled device, you can jump on to the internet, go to poscloud.com and punch in your credentials and immediately see a dashboard of all of your transactional information, best-selling items, how you brought in your money. That's really cool information to kind of have a heartbeat on your business while you're not there. The last thing I do want to mention today is that I talked about staff members and going in and setting up their different permissions, but we can do a little bit more than that with them. You could even do staff schedules. So you can do your hours and wages, you can copy schedules from week to week. You can have employees that do not even have access to the point of sale software get in and just clock in and out and use the solution as a time clock as well. So guys, Exatouch is a really great business tool. It has a terrific feature set that can really lift a retailer and help them run their business better. So with that said, I hope you guys stay tuned for my next few videos that I'll be coming out with for how Exatouch can help in other verticals such as hospitality, specifically liquor stores, maybe pizza shops, and some others. Thank you so much.